Hello, I'm Rahul from the Robotics Network, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the current FTC DECODE world record of 342 non-penalty from China. Specifically, we're going to be taking a look at how lightning-fast intakes and far zone strategies is completely shaping games at a high level. Check out more on this episode of FUNalysis.
This video on fun is brought to you by our viewers, supporters, members, and also in partnership with the following. FRCTs has been trusted by over 200 FIRST teams to save on custom shirts and team apparel. Founded by FIRST alumni and offering a free 14-day turnaround with faster options available, your team can apply for a sponsorship and get a quote when you scan the QR code or go to frcts.com. True competitors know that every second counts. That's why Kettering University challenges you to dive in right away as a first-year student. Participating in robotics programs helps Kettering students secure a valuable co-op. Whatever your interest, Kettering gives you more space to work faster and win faster. Learn more at kettering.edu/first.
We're going to be taking a look at the China FTC Shanghai No. 2 qualifier playoff match 6, specifically the Red Alliance with team 22389 AE86 and team 19660 Sigma, and how they're able to set the current FTC world record with two strategies that specifically stand out to me. So as we start off the autonomous, I want you guys to keep an eye out for team 22389, the one in the back, Sigma's intake. And first of all, we're going to see them right away intake 3 artifacts from that line and how quickly the artifacts just get pulled off the ground. That's absolutely amazing how fast that intake is. And that's something that we're going to see come again throughout the course of this match and be super beneficial for them. The next thing I'd like to point out in autonomous is how well coordinated the two teams seem to be. It's very clearly set up that team AE86 opens the gate while team Sigma goes into the corner to intake artifacts that roll down the gate, and this allows them to ultimately achieve a 20 artifact autonomous, which is absolutely insane. We're going to see as AE86 opens the gate, Sigma is going to shoot the artifacts and confidently go into that corner and get their next 3 from the ones that AE86 had just rolled out. And they're going to repeatedly do this with Team Sigma sort of just turning into the corner to get those artifacts from there. Now, as we head into the Teleop period, there's 2 main strategies we're going to want to look out for. First of all is how Team AE86 is able to extremely quickly open the gate and then intake artifacts and take them to shoot. And then second of all, which we'll see sort of happen later towards the match, is how Team Sigma is able to coordinate their shots to always be the second alliance shooting. I'll dive more into that soon. But first of all, as soon as Teleop starts, we're going to see AE86 open the gate, quickly intake 3 artifacts, and immediately go to shoot. It's like almost before the blue alliance even starts moving, AE86 already has 3 artifacts prepped to shoot. We're going to see them quickly do it here. They go in, go get 3, and they're ready to shoot here by the time the blue alliance has only reached it to their own secret tunnel. AE86, we're going to see them throughout the course of this match very confidently driving to avoid penalties, which is something that I think teams can really take away from, is being confident that they're going to intake their artifacts if they have a really strong intake and not really be too worried of the secret tunnel penalties. As the match continues on, we're going to see AE86 continuing to intake while Team Sigma sort of starts to set up from that human player zone. And one thing that we see that Sigma does a little differently is that they allow the human player to roll the artifacts into their robot, because we're seeing that Sigma's focus is not on being the fastest cycling robot, which you might think, many teams might think, we just want to cycle as fast. But what they're really trying to do is they're really trying to just match the Blue Alliance's far zone shooter so that they can affect their shots. We'll see that play out around the 1 minute mark. Now, as we go on, we're going to see AE86 continuing to use their super fast intake to allow them to intake artifacts almost immediately. They're going to do that strategy once again. They're going to open the gate, quickly get 3 artifacts, and immediately go to shoot them. Open the gate, they get 3 almost just by quickly driving into there, and they have already shot them at this point. Now, the next thing I'd like to highlight, which something really stood out to me for AE86's drivers, is they always know where they're going next before they've done it. So every time they're getting ready for their next set of intake cycles, they don't wait to shoot and then are like, where's the next set of artifacts to intake? They already know. Here, I've underlined the 3 artifacts which they're going to go for, and they very purposefully drive towards them. You see, they go there, get that one in the back, and then go shoot it. And I think that's something that teams can really take away from, whether that be if your main driver is looking while the robot is shooting, or your coach or your second driver is watching the artifacts or knowing where artifacts are on the field. So you can immediately go to intake them as soon as your cycle's on to not have any dead time in your cycle. Now we're going to see them once again do this, even though there's two blue robots very close to their secret tunnel zone. AE86 is unfazed and knows how confidently and how quickly they can intake artifacts from that human player zone and get out fast enough that they don't care that they could get a penalty because they're just in their groove and want to keep cycling. They're going to open the gate, quickly get 3, and are out of there before the blue lines can even try to initiate contact for a penalty. And their drivetrain is really fast, which stands out to me in avoiding defense. It's proving to be very, very effective for them. Now, as we near the halfway point of the match, we're going to see the second strategy come into play for Team Sigma. And what we're going to see them do is every time they go to shoot from the far zone, they're going to try to push off the blue aligned's far zone robot. And we're actually going to see them a few times stop and not shoot, so that they're always the second robot shooting. It's always the blue lines first and then Team Sigma of the red lines. And what this allows them to do is this allows them to contest the blue alliance's shots, like their third or second shots, by pushing them to the side while having free shots of their own, because the blue alliance after they've shot is going to intake. And I think this is a super good strategy, which we'll see play out right here. You see they quickly pushed off the blue lines, which made one of their shots veer off, and now they have 3 wide open shots, which they don't need to worry about. And by the time the blue lines is back to shoot, they're getting their artifacts ready, and they push them off once again. As you can see here, they're pushing them on that last shot, which causes shots to veer off. And this is a super good strategy that I think teams can definitely learn from, because here they're not trying to be the fastest robot on the field. They're just trying to have a slight advantage every cycle in which they're getting open shots while the opponent is not getting their shots open. And that's, I think, one of the key elements that allows them to have this world record score and convincingly win this playoff match. We're going to see this execute a few times. Once again, they get clear shots. AE86 is continuously throughout this whole match doing that strategy of opening the gate and intaking the 3 artifacts from that blue secret tunnel zone. So they quickly intake and they go to shoot. Once again, we see one thing we see here very clever by Team Sigma's driver is they actually have 3 artifacts and they could shoot the balls right now. They have a relatively open shot. They could shoot them, but they are very confident in their strategy of being the second alliance to shoot. So they sort of back off. They back off and let the blue alliance shoot, because that allows them to retain their positioning and their advantage. And once again, they push them to affect their last shot. You see, they push them, their third shot gets affected and misses. And now, by being the second team to shoot, when the blue alliance goes to intake, they're getting free wide open shots. And that's just a super intelligent strategy that I think teams can definitely apply at a high level. As the match continues to play out, we see this strategy once again. They push them and they go shoot, while Team AE86 continues to intake from that blue human player zone. And I think at a high level, going into world championships, premier events, things like that, regional championships, teams should definitely be thinking about how their opponent is playing and how best to counteract them. Team Sigma here, they're very knowledgeable and not trying to be the fastest far zone cycling robot. And even without a turret, they know that maybe they could be more averse affected to defense. Both AE86 and Sigma do not have a turret, but they're still able to be so effective in avoiding defense through this intelligent strategy. And I think this is something that teams can take a ton away from. As the match comes to a close, we're going to see Team AE86 once again confidently opening that gate zone to intake, even though they know that a blue alliance robot is right there. They're not really fazed by the risk of that penalty, and they just let them quickly drive out, and then they go in to get their 3 artifacts. And that confidence driving and clearly having hours and hours of driver practice is what really stands out for me to AE86, along with their super fast intake that just seems to really own the touch it, own it principle. And ultimately, those 2 strategies of being second while shooting from the far zone and that super quick gate intake cycle is what I believe gets the Team Sigma and Team A86 the world record of 342. And it's indicative of how high-level matches are certainly shaping up in the FTC DECODE season. Thank you for watching this episode of FUNalysis. Let us know in the comments what you think of these two strategies presented in this world record match and how you think more strategies are going to evolve as higher level matches come into play. Make sure to be subscribed so you don't miss out on future content like this, and catch you next time. This is Rahul signing off.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to stay up to date on future fun videos. True competitors know that every second counts. That's why Kettering University challenges you to dive in right away as a first-year student. Participating in robotics programs helps Kettering students secure a valuable co-op. Whatever your interests, Kettering gives you more space to work faster and win faster. Learn more at kettering.edu/first. FRCTs has been trusted by over 200 first teams to save on custom shirts and team apparel. Founded by First alumni and offering a free 14-day turnaround with faster options available, your team can apply for a sponsorship and get a quote when you scan the QR code or go to frcts.com.